Hey guys, good morning. Happy Monday. Welcome to this next iced coffee date, which is an update on week 3 of my 12-week cut. So just wanted to share a few details. And then we're also going to talk about managing expectations, which is inspired by an interesting / odd DM that I got on Instagram, but I'll talk about that in a second. So let me just give you my accountability stats. So this week, I managed 3 workouts. We're recovering. We're making it back to exercising. If you didn't know, I hurt my back almost a month ago. Just doing dumb things at CrossFit. My fault, obviously. I should have known better. But yeah, I've been just recovering from that. And honestly, up until now, really haven't exercised. So this was kind of the week that we added back some exercise, and hopefully, I'll continue to see progress and whatnot. So, as far as stats, so down 1 pound on the scale. So I actually started tracking what the scale has been doing. I wasn't really paying attention. I weighed in last week at CrossFit and then weighed in this week at CrossFit. So down almost a pound, like 0.9. And again, that number on the scale, 1 marker of so many markers. And honestly, losing 3 pounds, like just about 3 pounds in 3 weeks makes me a little bit nervous, because it does seem like that fat loss, weight loss is a little bit drastic, because, I don't have a ton of weight to lose. So a pound a week, that is kind of fast. And it makes me a little bit nervous that I am losing muscle in addition to fat. So keeping my calories the same, we are not going to make any more changes, because the goal is to lose as much as possible while eating. The goal, rewind, is to eat as much as possible while still losing weight. So my calories have been 21 to 2,300. I have lost every single week. I do wonder if that was too much of a deficit, but we're just going to stay here. Just keep trucking along and see what happens when I do get back to my regular workouts. I think we're going to be there. I hope. And then as far as accountability goes, I tracked my food 5 out of 7 days. I didn't track on Easter. And then there was one day midweek that honestly, I got to like dinner time and didn't even think about tracking my food. It just didn't even occur to me. So I just got to that point in the day and I was like, whatever. Like I ate like I normally did, I wasn't like off the rails. I was getting in my protein. I think it was probably fine. And then I hit my protein goal. I'm going to guess 4 out of 7 days. Those 2 days that I didn't track, I assume I didn't hit my protein goal. And then there was one day towards the end of the week that I know I was low. I want to say I was like in the 80s. So fine, like consistent, but I'm just going to really try to nail the protein goal next week, stay within my calorie range, and then see what happens when I add back in those workouts to see what happens with the scale. Because again, the scale is just one number. That's telling me like what my body as a whole weighs. It's not telling me what's happening with my muscle or my fat. I mean, I'm making a lot of assumptions here, but things are happening. It's just, I don't want the fat loss to happen too fast. What else did I want to tell you? Okay, so I got a lot more walking in this week. I'm hoping that helps as far as just keeping my activity level up. So aiming for like 7,500 to 10,000 calories a day, or calories. I'm having trouble here today. 7,500 to 10,000 steps per day is the goal. And I think I pretty much did it every day this week. I was looking at my little step tracker. So that really hasn't been that hard, just getting out for a few more walks. And honestly, like I'm not doing like a big long walk. I'm just doing little walks throughout the day. So I'll walk Murphy in the morning. Maybe after lunch, I'll go for like a little walk. When Quinn gets off the bus, I'll go for a little walk. So like all these like short little walks just add up. And I'm pretty active during the day, just like moving. Like I try not to like sit for too long. I mean, I sit, computer job, but doing my best. And then we're on vacation today through Wednesday, and then we're on another vacation towards the end of the week. So I'm just going to do my best as far as hitting that protein goal, being as good as I can with the calories and everything, and just moving. All right. So let me talk about expectations. So I got a message last week, I want to say, on Instagram, and as I described it earlier in this video, it was just odd. And it was somebody who seemed really upset with the way I was doing my cut, or just had an opinion on it, or I'm not really sure, but the thing that stuck out in, I think it was a woman, her message was that my diet or my cut wasn't working. And I thought that was really interesting as far as maybe somebody coming from diet culture and expecting these like really fast results overnight. I mean, I hear it all the time from women. They're expecting to lose like 10 pounds in 8 weeks, like crazy stuff like that, where they're expecting this like overnight fat loss. And that's what we don't do that here at Carrots and Cake. Like, we are really striving for slow and steady fat loss, because the slower it comes off, the easier it's going to be to maintain, because you know, your body is getting used to a different amount of calories. Strength training is obviously boosting your metabolism. You're getting more consistent with your habits and lifestyle changes and nutrition changes. So the slower we can do this process, the more likely it's going to stick and it's going to be able to maintain. So for me, like, expectations on 12 weeks, I have 12 weeks for this cut to quote unquote work. And within 3 weeks, I've lost 3 pounds on the scale. So I would say that's quote unquote working. Again, we don't know what the scale is telling us, you know, could be fat, could be muscle. But I just thought it was really interesting that this person thought that this wasn't working. And I would say, this is working. It's working. We are only 3 weeks into a 12-week cut. And that's why when we work with women and why I plan this cut for myself, I gave myself a start date and a finish date, because yeah, if you had gone, you know, 3 weeks into a cut and you had lost a pound, or maybe didn't even lose any weight in 3 pounds, or 3 pounds, 3 weeks. I am having trouble today, guys. But if you didn't lose any weight in 3 weeks on the scale, you might think this diet is not working or this cut isn't working. But if you gave yourself 6 weeks, 8 weeks, 12 weeks to see if this actually worked, I bet you it will. So I'm just gonna keep trucking along, and honestly, like, I do think when you're going into a cut or something like this, you do need to establish a time frame, because during that time frame, there are certain things that you need to do. So I've been talking about being accountable to myself, being consistent with tracking my food, being consistent with that protein goal, starting to work out again and being consistent with that, getting my walking and my steps in, all the things that are important as far as fat loss goes. So I just think there are certain things that are expected of you during a cut. So having that time frame can be really helpful. And I think it's helpful mentally that, you know, if there's a week that you don't see the scale drop down, or you have a rough week and you're not super consistent, like, to know that you have, you know, 8 weeks, 12 weeks, 16 weeks to continue on this journey. I think that's really helpful. And I'm only, you know, a quarter of the way into this cut. So I think it's working. We have a long way to go. You know, this thing doesn't end till mid-June, but just wanted to share my opinion on expectations and whether or not this is working. And if you're in the same boat, if you're somebody that's going into a fat loss phase and you're not, you know, seeing those consistent drops on the scale, it doesn't mean that you're not making progress. I mean, the scale can fluctuate so much from day to day. I mean, simply having a hard workout and being sore the next day, you're gonna see the scale go up. So there's like a million reasons why the scale is going to go up or down. So it's just one metric on this journey. And if you're not seeing that progress, I don't want you to give up. I still want you to be consistent and go through to the end of your cut. And that's my goal. I'm gonna go all 12 weeks, tracking my food, hitting my protein goal, doing what I need to do. And hopefully, you know, we'll start to see changes and, you know, the scale and numbers and measurements and all that good stuff. All right, guys, I'm rambling. I'm clearly on fire this morning. I think I tripped over my words half dozen times today. And I've had coffee. This is actually my second coffee of the morning. Quinn and I were up very, very early this morning, very early. It was dark out. Anyways, happy Marathon Monday. I hope you guys are watching. Big day here in Boston. I'm definitely going to watch, and we are going on vacation. So I'll see you guys in a few days, and happy Monday.